guys, back here again. I'm here with Noah. Hi, Noah.
All right. Happy to be
Hi,
here.
how are you?
Pretty
It's
good.
a lovely night tonight. It's pretty good. Yes, we're here to talk about your Kickstarter for Basement Show. I'm very excited to hear about this because it seems like every single thing that I love on the planet just kind of like thrown together in one book, which I really, really adore. So, yes, I can't wait to hear about this. So, yes. Uh, Hi. So let's do a quick shout out to the chat and I'll come back and then we could do full on introduction to you.
Right.
Let's go. We got Kev up here. Hi, Kev. How are you doing? We got Glenn. Hi, Glenn. How are you, Glenn? And you're already dropping the links. Thank you so much, Glenn. We got Wong. Hello, Wong. We got HH. Hi, HH. We got Rude in here. Yeah, and I was already telling Rude about all the punk stuff, and he said yes, he's in because he actually has a punk band and figure here. So that's dope about the punk stuff that I was telling you, that you have a Spotify playing list for your song, and they're all for that, which I did drop in the description, by the way. So yes. And figure says play choking victim 500 channels. Cool. Yes. Oh, Beefaroni. Hey, Beefaroni. Hey, Kate. Hey, Boggs. Oh, shoot. Hey, Brandon. What's up, Brandon? Hi, Glenn. Hey, Ken. All right. I got down to all of the hays and the hi there's. People are chatting. Okay. I know. That did not take that long, but it's okay.
Yeah.
After all, over the So, hi, Noah. Would you like to tell the chat about yourself and about your work a little bit and how you got into writing?
I mean, I've been writing for about as long as I can remember in some capacity. For the past few years, I've been doing comics journalism, but the whole reason I started in that is because I want to actually write comics.
Okay.
And, I eventually kind of decided that, like in keeping with the DIY theme, I kind of decided, no one's going to really just come in and offer me something. If I want something to happen, I'm going to have to make it happen.
Okay.
So I wrote my first comic. I wrote a 3-page comic not too long ago, and it was I saw the other day you actually interviewed the folks over at Bird's Eye Comics.
Yes.
I wrote a comic and they published it in the Bebop 2, which was a very similar theme, like a sort of a punk rock horror story, just a very short one. And I thought, and as soon as I saw that published, I thought, well, now I obviously have to do something bigger. I can't really afford to rest on my laurels, and that's how this project came about.
Yeah, because I saw that on the Kickstarter page, and I was like, "Oh, that's amazing!" Because I did not know that you were part of the Bebop. Because I backed their Kickstarter, and I want to go and I want to get the physical copies of the Bebop because it looks gorgeous. All the stories that are in there, and I really enjoy the art that I saw from the last time that they were on here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because that looks really good. So yeah, I can't wait to read the story that you have in there. Yes.
Yeah, it's actually based on a song I really like by a band called Red Vox, which isn't really a punk band, but it's a band I enjoy. And I worked on that with Jackie Reynolds, who they are the artist behind. I don't know if you're familiar with Marble Hornets, the YouTube horror series. Well, they're the artist.
I'm not.
They did a comic book continuation of it, and Jackie is the artist on that. So working with them was just super cool for me, just because Marble Hornets was something I kind of came up on. It's something that really informed I loved horror anyway, but that's something that it was a very formative thing for me in terms of horror. Like it's very, very Blair Witch, but in the best possible way.
Ooh, that sounds pretty neat. Yeah, I definitely have to look into that because
Marble Hornets. It was kind of the original. It was the original Slenderman YouTube series.
Oh,
like back before, like that started like in 2009. So like a couple years before that whole thing really popped off.
Okay. I remember like Salad Fingers and that type of era of stuff, which was I loved all that stuff. But yeah, no, I'm huge into horror and music type stuff, so that's really great. So what got you into horror? I mean, have you always been into horror from like a young age?
Like always. I think I don't know, my parents were weird. It was the kind of thing where like sex is kind of a taboo, but violence is fine. So like I watched Scream a lot.
Okay. All right.
A lot growing up. Like
I can get behind that.
Like I think from when I was 5 or 6. I was watching Scream pretty regularly.
Okay. Yeah, no, I grew up on horror. Like you can see, I have a lot of the Universal monsters and then weird 90s and 80s on this wall over here.
I mean, slashers were kind of like my big
Yes.
entry point, like not just Scream, because that obviously led to things like Halloween and Elm Street and
Oh, for
Friday the
sure.
13th, things of that nature.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something just nostalgic about them. And when you go back to like, you just feel like it reminds you of your childhood and you like watching it. I don't know. We probably shouldn't have been watching it as a kid when you think back to the themes and the horror, but
Yeah.
everyone stayed up watching it.
Well,
like
I said,
we were
violence,
all, yeah.
like the thing that wasn't really like taboo in my house was violence, and the other stuff, like obviously Scream is like an exception to slashers in general, where there's not too much, there's like no nudity or what have you.
Yeah.
And any allusions to that kind of thing, obviously as a kid, that kind of went over my head, so it wasn't really much of an issue.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yes. I'm so tired today. So sorry for my super lack of energy, but I'm trying to catch up with all my drinks that I have with you right now. But yeah, no, I'm so
all
very
good.
tired. Hey guys, to everyone that's rolling in right now. Hey Phil. Yes, watching horror does bring back fun memories. I remember like trying to scare people also because I was really big into that. I still do that. It's my favorite thing to do. It's just terrifying people. I'm horrific at that. Yes. Bye, Durs. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, have fun with your work. Yes. Yeah, no, I really love the imagery, especially of the Universal monsters, because it's just such a classic and beautiful art style that you don't see today, but it's just so breathtaking imagery. Oh, there's some peeps in the chat. Hi. So what got you into punk music? Were you always into also punk music, or is that something you developed into getting into?
That started about early high school for me.
Okay.
Because
nice.
to the surprise of no one, I'm a straight edge guy.
Okay.
And so that was kind of my entry point, because that kind of naturally led me, as I kind of started learning what that was, that obviously led me to bands like Minor Threat. Like the two biggest entry points for me were Minor Threat and the Misfits.
Okay. Yes, I love the Misfits. Yes.
That kind of opened the floodgates for me, like starting about like I would say age 13, 14. And it's just been growing ever since.
No, there's actually a lot of people in the community that are straight edge and that are into a lot of the straight edge punk bands. A lot of the low grades. There's a community that does a Friday stream at night, and they're called the low grades, and they are a lot of pro punk straight edge bands.
Yeah, like my first
in the comic community. Yeah.
Like I think like the first like real punk shirt I ever owned, again as like 13, 14-year-old, was like, the Bridge 9 Misfits skull shirt.
Everyone needs a Misfit shirt at some point in their time.
The X's on their hands.
Yeah. Are you a Graves or are you a Danzig Misfits?
I mean, by default now Danzig, because obviously,
yeah,
in recent years there have been some bad things on the Graves front that it's a shame. Like it does break my heart because I remember being like 14 and Dig Up Her Bones is my favorite song ever. But
classic Saturday Night. That whole CD, that album is fantastic. It's such a good album.
But obviously, I cannot endorse what he's up to these days.
Not these days. No, he's been causing some problems for sure.
Yeah, it hurts. Like I always hate that when you see someone who kind of goes in that direction, especially from the punk scene, where it's like, come on, like how, like it's just so antithetical to what punk is. It's disappointing. So, I won't dwell too much on that. I'll just say it's disappointing.
Okay. Misfits Graves is not Misfits, not. Okay.
But also just, when you're first getting into it, you're kind of just like consuming everything. Like I've also just been, because like I like pop punk, like I'm not an elitist about that.
Yeah.
Just, I'm not super, I don't have time for like the gatekeepy stuff, but that's a whole other conversation.
Oh, hello there. Yeah, no, I pretty much listen to just about everything from K-pop to whatever. There are some amazing K-pop punk bands. If you've never heard of them, they're amazing.
I don't doubt
Korean
it.
and Japanese punk bands that are legit sounding, and they sound amazing. So yeah, I will link you after if you would like. But yes, they're fabulous actually.
I think the only one I'm familiar with from Japan is the Stance Punks, who I learned about through Soul Eater. They did the first ending thing for Soul Eater.
Yeah, Soul Eater was a good anime. Also had a good soundtrack. But yeah, there's a lot of good Japanese and Korean bands, but mostly that do punk. It's great. Yes. No Brain is my favorite Korean punk band. They're fabulous, by the way. And then they do like a bluesy side as well. So, but they do old school punk. It's great. Hey guys, just coming in. So yes, we're talking here with Noah. So if you guys have questions, drop it. But I will be pulling up the Kickstarter so we can go talking about your Kickstarter, which is for Basement Show, and I'm so excited to talk about this. Let me go to the present button. So how long ago did you start working on the Basement Show?
Earlier this year, I would ballpark it at around.
Okay.
I was probably writing it around February or March.
All right. Let me refresh this because it says they're going to be at some downtime, and I want to make sure it's not going to go down during the stream. Okay, so they've got about an hour before they do some downtime. Okay, should be good. Should be fantastic. All right. So you got Basement Show is a one-shot punk rock horror comic. The fact that you even made this is amazing because that's every single thing that I love. You got DIY punk rock meets poltergeist and a haunting black and white one-shot comic. Nice. So you end this in 5 days. You got 5 days to go. So it ends on September 4th. So you're about 1/3 of the way to go. You got about $2,000 left in here. I think that's still doable. We're going to share the living crap out of this. And hopefully you'll get some backers from the people in here because this is stuff that I know people in the chat actually enjoy. Let's go down here. So you want to tell us a little bit about the story here? What's actually happening?
Well, like you scroll down, you'll see the summary, but it's basically just, this kind of DIY punk band in, nondescript US town who they decide, who in a bit of marketing genius decide to play a basement show at a supposedly haunted house on Halloween night, only to learn that the myths aren't exactly myths. Like there's a lot more truth to the things they've heard than they realize.
Okay. And then these are the characters. So this is everybody in your band here. So these are the bands that's going to go play here. You got your main character. And I love the fact that you did a little breakdown of everybody in here. And then you gave her their favorite band and then their favorite song, which, by the way, I put these in the description so you guys could go look these up. But I actually listened to every single one of these songs before we played. And I love every single one of them.
I can talk a bit about that as well, because there's definitely like a method to the madness as to like why everyone got the song that they did.
Okay.
Hey guys. And there's like a lot of just little nods and references throughout all the characters. Like for instance, in addition to punk, I'm also really into skateboarding, and so nice. all the characters are named after one pro skater or another in some way.
Oh, fun! That's fun. I like that. All right, let's go back in here. So right here, we have Breana Baker. She's the bassist, lead vocalist, and frontwoman of, is it Feasters or Festers? Feasters? Okay.
Because that is also a nod to Feasters, which was the very first Birdhouse Skateboards video from the early 90s.
Very cool. Okay. And then her favorite band is Black Flag, as it should be. Good band. And that's a great song. Great song. I really like the art style that you have in here too. It's kind of like the artist did a great job. Is this their first book, or are they still doing other work?
No, Jean-Marie has been doing quite a bit of work. Like that's how I found him. I had seen some of his previous stuff and decided to reach out for this.
Cool. I like the style is great. So this looks like this is the interiors, and I like that it's kind of like a sketchy style, and I love that style of artwork.
Well, the whole thing is in black and white because I wanted to kind of look like, this kind of DIY punk zine type thing.
I'd say you nailed it, definitely. Let's see. Real Rude wants to know, that's dope. Is anyone named Paul Rodriguez?
No one is named after P-Rod in the comic, unfortunately.
Kelly
Yeah,
says, Easter eggs, knowledge nuggies. Hello. Okay.
well, that's funny. No one in the comic is named after Tony Alva or Jay Adams either. But like, I consider Lords of Dogtown was actually one of my earliest introductions to punk music, because if you've never seen that movie, for the soundtrack, Rise Against did a cover of Nervous Breakdown by Black Flag. And so that was actually, I believe that was my first introduction to Black Flag, because they also play Black Flag in the movie.
That had a fabulous soundtrack in it, for real. It really did. If you guys have never seen that movie, and you really need to go watch that. Hey, Mike, what's up? Also, Glenn wants to know, what is your favorite all-time movie?
All-time movie? It changes on the day. It's between Evil Dead 2 or Rebel Without a Cause.
Yes, I have that poster right there for Evil Dead 2. You can't really see it, but it's literally right there. It's actually, Jay Williams is my hubby. Oh, yes. That's my guy. Yes, you got a lot of people in here that say that they actually like it. Looks dope, and they like it so far. Do you like Murder Falcon?
I'm actually not familiar with Murder Falcon.
Okay.
If you go back up to Breana, like, she is named after Breana Baker. I mean, no, her name is Breana Baker. She is named after Breana Gearing, who is a pro skater. Her design is also loosely based on Breana. She's sort of a combination of Breana Gearing and the lead singer for a band called Grumster.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I like that you're mixing elements of the skateboarding, the punk, and the bands and stuff.
And,
I think
that carries
awesome.
through all the characters. I can talk about that a bit more.
Yeah, please do. I really want to know about this, because I really am fascinated by this. I love that a lot. I like the shoes. I'm into that. But yeah, I really did listen to every single one of these songs before we came in here, and I loved them all. They were fabulous. There was a couple bands in here I'd never heard of, and I would put them all on my playlist to listen later. And I can't wait to go back to listen to your Spotify, because there's a lot of bands in there that I absolutely adore and I love. And there's like one or two songs that I've never heard of. So I can't wait to go actually read that and then listen to that, because yeah, fabulous. Really like this art style. I really want to find more about this artist as well, because I like this art style. I'm big into like the sketcherly, just kind of like
at the bottom of the page. There'll be a link to his Instagram.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, down there. But yeah, no, I'm really digging the art style, and I love that, and I want to see more for that work, and I want to see more from your book. I really want to see that. All right, so this here is the other character. It's Jamie Perez, guitarist and backing vocals, and he likes Jughead's Revenge and Hellvis, and that is a dope ass song. I love that song. So good.
For anyone listening, Hellvis is a mashup of London Dungeon by the Misfits and Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley.
Super good.
But Jamie, he is again, like, kind of mixing and matching. Like, he is based on his name, Jamie Perez. Jamie comes from Jamie Thomas, the skater who famously did The Leap of Faith. Anyone who's played Tony Hawk Pro Skater will know who Jamie Thomas is. But and then Perez is a multiple thing, because that's actually one of my family names. It's also a nod to George Perez, the famous comic book artist who was unfortunately no longer with us, but who was obviously a legend. As a big Teen Titans fan, I really loved him.
Super, yeah.
And then design, because Jamie is half Mexican and half Japanese, and the reason for that is because I based his design off a young Steve Caballero, who he was in the original Bones Brigade with Tony Hawk, and he was also played in a number of punk bands. So he felt like kind of like a natural fit to inspire one of these characters.
Very cool, very cool. And then Figure says he was listening to older songs by the Mars Volta this morning. Was a former member of At the Drive-In, who are from El Paso, as you probably know.
Yeah, I am familiar with At the Drive-In.
Good. And he says 1/2 Mexican and half Japanese are 100% awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to this page. But yeah, no, I really dig this, and I like their clothing. It's very cool.
And that's El Maria. Like he kind of did that little design on his shirt that I really, really like.
That's another thing you could do. You could make the shirts and sell those. That's awesome. All right, so yes, Jughead's Revenge. Go listen to them as well because that's awesome. And I know Rude, you wanted the Spotify link, and I know Glenn linked it. So yeah, go check that link out also. So down here, I mean, I already assume that this guy's the drummer, Kevin Roessler, and he likes All and She's My Ex, and that was a super dope song. Also, I like that a lot. Great song.
Yeah, and like the reason I chose that for him because as a DIY punk drummer, I imagine Kevin kind of worships at the altar of Bill Stevenson. So All seemed like and there's already a Descendant song on the comic soundtrack, so All seemed like a good fit here.
Okay, so Brother Joe just came in and he has a question. Okay, he has a very torch sister fan. He just came in and he wants to know: is this already out? Is it coming out? And how can he get it? Okay, good question. So this is on Kickstarter currently right now. Is it available anywhere else, or is it currently only on Kickstarter?
Currently, it's only on Kickstarter. Like there's some review copies floating around, but that's about it right now.
Okay.
Those are technically incomplete because we have all the review copies have all the story pages, but since it's 25 pages, so and you can only print in multiples of 4, so I added some bonus pages that will be in the final version.
Okay. So I'm going to give a quick breakdown one more time of what the comic is about and what we're actually talking about, because a lot of people we just got double the amount of people that just popped into chat. Okay. So right now I'm going to pull back up to the top. The name of this, it's on Kickstarter, first of all, and it's got 5 days to go. So it's going to end on Monday, September 4th at about 1:30 p.m. It's already at 1,000 of the $3,000 goal, and it's called Basement Show. It is a one-shot punk rock horror comic, and it looks amazing. It's a black and white one-shot, okay? It's about a punk band that's going to go to a supposedly haunted house to go, put on a show, and who knows what's going to happen. And it's they're planning to play on Halloween night. So you got Halloween, you got punk rock, you got possible poltergeists, hauntings, you don't know, shenanigans, supernatural weird stuff's going to be happening. You don't know. So this all kind of sounds super amazing. So Brother Joe, if you've never done or backed anything on Kickstarter, let me know and I will walk you through that if you want to buy the book. Yes. And I believe I did see down below that it is 100% completed. You are just waiting on funding at this point.
Yes, the book is the book is completely done. The Kickstarter is purely for shipping and distribution, which I'll be doing all of that myself.
Okay. Also just saying hi to people in chat. Yes. And a couple people wanted the Spotify link. They got that. So yes. Got it. Cool. Thanks. Thank you for posting the link. Thank you. Yes, thank you. All right. I don't know if my chat's doing some weird stuff, but hi. Yes. All right. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Excuse me. All right. So let's get back down here. Okay. So we did Breana. We talked about Jamie. And then we were talking about Kevin.
Yes, Kevin, named after both pro skater, named after pro skater Kevin Staub and also former Black Flag bassist Kira Roessler.
Sweet. Also, I like that the ends of his pants are frayed. That little detail's cute. Then down here, I already like this guy. This guy is giving me awesome vibes. I dig it. And his name is Robert Bobby Campbell. And he likes Operation Ivy and their song Unity. And he is Brianna's best friend. And he's the road crew, ragtag road crew. Nice. Yes, I dig it. I like that jacket. That's a really sweet jacket.
Visually, he's actually. I've been considering dedicating the comic to him, but his design was based off of D.H. Pellegro from the Dead Kennedys, who unfortunately passed away late last year. So I've been thinking about including something like that or like a little dedication in the comic.
Okay, that would be very cool. I like that.
And then Bobby was just a random name. Like for some reason, when I was trying to come up with this character's name, like that's just what I kept coming back to. I have no idea why. It was just Bobby. I don't know why that's what it was, but obviously I wanted to continue the skater theme. So because at first I was like, do I want to do that with just the band or with everybody? and I really went back and forth with his name. And I was looking at my Blu-rays, and I
Uh-huh.
was looking at like Scream and Evil Dead, and I was thinking like maybe Campbell, like Nev Campbell, Bruce Campbell. So I was thinking that, and then finally hit me. I was like, oh, Kareem Campbell, duh. Okay, Campbell it is.
That's awesome. I like that. Like it's an ode to a couple things that it can deal with. Also, Rude is he's really hyped for this. He says, "Bro, my boys are gonna love this," and they don't even read comics. Nice. I know. You guys got some cool stuff. You wolfed down a Chipotle burrito and you're having regrets. Oh no. I did that the other day and I also have regrets for doing that. It happens. Yes, see, he does have good taste. Yes, I'm glad that you guys have taste in music. I'm glad that you guys know these bands as well too. You guys are awesome. Also, hey, hello.
Yeah, like as a huge Descendants fan, I've been slowly trying to get more into all. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I saved every single one of these. I can't wait to look up some more of the music that they have on there because it's fabulous. I loved it. Perfect. I'm glad you guys are stopping by. Okay, let's go back in here. Bobby, I dig. I like him a lot. Fabulous, fabulous jacket, by the way. Also, they all have bitchin' shoes. I dig their shoes. This guy is cool. I like him. He's got cool vibes. He looks like a bro. Stacy Graves. You got another road crew member. And his favorite band is FIDLAR and their song West Coast. All right. It's very cool. Makes flyers.
This is another kind of fun reference where like he's named after Stacy Peralta, Lords of Dogtown, but also was, in charge of the Bones Brigade and was basically the guy in charge driving them around. He was their team manager. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of make him the guy driving them around in the van.
Yeah, I like that he's in charge of making the flyers because that is super important in a band. You need to have something that grabs people's attention, to come in. And I really dig the cover of this because you guys nailed the punk rock flyer,
Yeah, that's exactly what we were going for. Yeah, all the cover is done by an artist by the name of Val Halverson, and he is fantastic. I'm still so ecstatic with how the cover came out. It's been months. Like I've had it in my possession for months. I was like just constantly awaiting the day I could show everybody.
Yeah, we've got people talking about bands and different. Ooh, Jay says Big Drill Car also is great. Yeah, there's some good stuff.
Also to clarify, Stacy is in fact not named after Michael Graves. The Graves comes from Randall Graves from Clerks. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan.
Okay. Where's TM at? He would really like that. Yes, but yeah, no. Making flyers is paramount to a band.
I made flyers for the comic and dropped them off at my local shop.
Dude, that's awesome. I like that. No, because that would actually look like a really awesome print, like an old school style screen print, the cover. I would dig that. I would buy a print of that to put on my wall because I have another one, Spider Punk print over there that would completely match it up with. And I like that a couple people are going like the old school style. No, this is a recording. We ended 46 minutes ago. Yes, Blake does love Kevin Smith and Snoogans. Yes, Snoogans. Hey, CJ, what's up? Okay, so we got this character here, and this is Rachel Reynolds. She is a punk rock fan who attends their show. Favorite band, The Last. She don't know why I'm here. Oh, pit boots. You gotta have some pit boots. Yes. Very cute. I like that you have a fan in here as well. That's nice. So cute.
Yes. Well, I'll say that she's an important character, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay. CJ said something a minute ago, but yeah.
I have heard of Blitzkid. I learned about them through their song Genus Unknown because it's about Mothman.
Oh, okay. I've not heard of that, but now I need to look this up because if they have a song about Mothman, I also want to hear this because I'm very big into cryptids as well and other mouthy things.
And once again, with the theme, Rachel Reynolds. Like the reason I went with Rachel, that because as I mentioned before, I'm a big team, so that's actually a nod to Rachel Roth, aka Raven, and then Reynolds is
Okay.
a nod to Andrew Reynolds, the founder of Baker Skateboards,
Okay.
which
Very
is
cool.
also where Breana gets her last name from, Breana Baker.
Very cool. Much better lives. God, yes. Yes, we are. That's very cool. I like it. I like so many elements of this so far. I am super into this. And I don't know if you've ever seen because one of my all-time favorite movies, and this gives me vibes of that. That's also why I super love this, is Night of the Demons. You a Night of the Demons fan?
I'm aware of it. I've not seen it. I need to.
Okay. Yeah, go watch it. It's pretty awesome. Ooh, what's the same? Nice. That's awesome. I like that. It's very cool, sick. All right, see you in a bit, John. That's awesome, sick. I'm glad that you got to have that experience. That's cool. Now, let's get down here for a second because check out this cover. This cover is sick. It's very old school style, like punk rock. It's so cool. I love all the elements to it. So cool.
Yeah, like I said, that's done by Val Halverson. He's fantastic. I highly recommend everyone check out his work.
Very nice. No, it's really cool. I really like it. Enjoy that a lot. Let's see. Ooh, Night of the Demons getting a 4K release. So I'm definitely gonna have to pick that up. Hopefully they have all three of them on there, which is nice because the third one is very hard to find anywhere to even watch. No, I like that. The font and everything is all perfect. It's all awesome. It works. So here's a little bit of the preview pages of the interiors. So everything matches. The cover artist did a great job matching what the interior artist did, enhanced it just enough, you know, I think, which is great. But yeah, here's some interiors. Oh, he's selling shirts. It's great. Let's see.
Yeah, all the preview pages are unlettered, but I also do have to give a shout out to Haley, who did a fantastic job with the lettering and design.
Yes, that's what I was saying earlier. So yeah, the lettering is fantastic. It meets that
on the cover that's still Val, but
yeah.
But Haley did everything in the interior.
Panels are done nicely. Yeah, everything's doing great. I like that. He's screaming his little heart out. Nice. That's so cute. Then something happened. We don't know what. Something happened. Got to read the book to find out what happened. But no, I like everything that you have in here. The movement, everything. It's so super cool. I like it. Then down here, I like that you did this because I don't think I've seen hardly any Kickstarter pages where they actually put the link to the people in here, which is super, super, super duper important, I think, to Kickstarter pages so that you can find the people on here. And I like that you do that a lot. So kudos to you and your Kickstarter team for actually doing that. Because sometimes it's almost impossible to find people if you want to follow them. And yeah, sorry. But yeah, no, thanks for doing that because that makes a lot of people, especially for me, because I love following the artists and the writers and the creative team and seeing when they post new stuff. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that was obviously very important because I didn't really have a Kickstarter team because I did everything pretty much. Like obviously the comic itself I could not have done without John Maria, without Haley, without Val, but like pretty much all the Kickstarter and marketing that I've been doing, just going full DIY with it.
Very cool. That's awesome. So you are the writer and the creator. And then you've got your Jean Maria. Is it John Maria or Jean Maria?
John Maria, I believe is
John Maria is the artist here. And then you have Haley who did the lettering. Super duper job on the lettering. And then you have the Val Hale here who did the cover art. But that's what I was saying a minute ago. Your cover artist did an amazing job mimicking kind of like everything that goes on in the book on the cover. So from the lettering to the art style that he did, it's I'm gonna assume it's a he, did a fabulous job of, you know, getting your attention to bring you to want to read it. So yes, no, interior is fabulous, and the cover is great as well. So no, I'm very, very much interested in reading this. So yes,
and
I can't.
yeah, and that's all them. Like everyone who I brought on board for this did a fantastic job. I could not praise them enough.
All right, let's see. We got some people here talking. Let's see. It's Reddit passes to start selling band shirts. Yeah. He says, tell me what happened to these people in this panel here. Gotta read it, bro. You have to read the book, CJ. But they are in a rock show in a basement in a supposedly haunted house. Hi, Spooky. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yes. So let me go back here. So we got down to the bottom of this. So you are 100% fully completed. And then you're just trying to get this completed here. You got 5 days to go. And then we're going to go through your tiers here so that people can see what they can pledge for. So you can do a tip here for any amount starting at $1. You have your, let's see. You can do a thank you for $5 if you just want to do that. You get your name in the comic book section. Let's see. If you want a digital copy, plus you also get the $5. So it looks like every other tier, you get the tier up as well, like the previous tiers.
Yes.
Cool. So for $10, you get this plus your name and the thank yous as well. So it's $10 digital tier. And down here, 15 bucks, you get 15. For $15, you get a physical copy plus the digital copy plus the thank you in the book. Nice. And then how much is shipping? Click on that. $5 shipping. And then looks like $10 pretty much anywhere else. Yeah, so it does ship globally. So if you guys are looking for a global comic, here you go. Because I know that was an issue on several other past Kickstarters where people wanted to back it, let's say in the UK, and they couldn't do it. So nice. So that's actually a pretty decent deal for $10 to ship to the UK or wherever else. And then down here, which is pretty neat. So if you wanted multiple copies of it, you can get 20 copies, and that's $100. And just for curiosity, how much is that shipping? 15 bucks? And then 20 outside? That's not bad. That's not bad at all, especially for a retailer. Oh, it's not bad at all. Oh, and some is 15 as well. You gotta really look. So most of it's 20 bucks, but yeah, all right, that's not bad. That's very cool. You've got some good stuff in here. Very cool. All right, so that's all your tiers. Now, if there's anybody who has questions for that, go ahead and just paste them in the chat. Oh shit.
I debated including more rewards, but once again, I'm kind of doing this myself. So last thing I want to do is kind of stretch myself too thin.
Yeah.
Or promise anything I can't deliver on. Because like I said, this is done. So as soon as funding is secured, I can get it set off to the printer and hopefully have it. The projection is November. Ideally, it would be even earlier than that.
So November. Okay. So my question is, if you don't hit funding, are you going to put it back on there? Because you have a lot of interest in the book. I can guarantee you it probably would hit funding, if not more. We just got to get it out there, I think, because you got 5 days left. But I think it's possible to hit funding or more. But do you have a plan if it doesn't? I'm just asking.
The plan, if it doesn't, would be to just kind of regroup and try again, maybe hire a firm to promote it a bit more.
Promote it a bit more. Yeah, I would say promote it a bit more. Definitely do more of interview shows and get going on that. But I would do a little bit more tiers, just to figure out what to do with tier wise. But yeah, no, because you're a third of the way there. You got 5 days. We'll definitely all spread. If you hear that, people in the chat, go spread the link all over the place. But no, I think you can do it. I think it's definitely doable. Did you have any other projects that you're going to be working on after this one?
I've kicked around some ideas because I'll say, like I mentioned, was this on stream or was this before where I mentioned my previous comic it was published in Bird's Eye?
That was before. So yeah, if you don't know, would you like to tell people about that real quick?
Oh yeah, my first comic was a 3-page short comic, which I think I did talk about on stream, but just to remind people, it was published in Bird's Eye Comics as the Bebop Volume 2. Late last year, and there's actually, at first it was kind of a joke. It was just an Easter egg, but there's a tiny bit of a shared universe thing, where like the two main characters from that appear as Easter eggs in this. And at first that was just kind of all it was, a fun little Easter egg. But I thought, you know what, maybe I can kind of build some more stories out of this same continuity. And I'll leave it at that. I'll just say I'm kicking around some ideas.
Okay, very cool. That's awesome. I like that those are kind of, intermingling with each other. It's neat. So does anybody have any questions about the Kickstarter or any of the projects that he's worked on? Or any other questions if you would like to ask? So we're coming up at the hour marks. I don't know how long we want to stay here, but yeah, it's already been 40 minutes, which is, it's crazy how this goes so fast all the time when we're on these things. I don't know if chat's just being weird because there's a lot of people in here. It's just kind of frozen. It's weird. Here's a question from Bigger. What are some of your most inspiring comics?
Oh, well, this one I mentioned in the synopsis. It's inspired directly by a certain aspect of it is inspired directly by Hellblazer 27, which was a kind of like a one-off Hellblazer issue that Neil Gaiman wrote, and it's incredible, and it's probably one of the best single issue comic stories of all time. And I will say that was a very big influence on this book, and Hellblazer in general. I'm a huge Hellblazer fan. Jamie Delano is kind of my hero. And I'm not above superhero stuff. Like, I don't know if there's anything that directly inspired, but I've loved the most recent like Spider-Punk run.
Spider-Punk's fun. I like Spider-Punk.
Like Cody Ziegler's recent Spider-Punk run, which had a lot of little nods and references to music, to specific songs. There was actually taken out. A lot of it was taken out in the trade paperback. I've noticed. I imagine there's lawyers involved, but that was kind of disappointing. Because, for instance, because in this universe, the Taskmaster is based on Glenn Danzig, or just based on the Misfits. He's got like a Misfit skull. He's got the devil lock. And so like he breaks into the room to fight Spider-Punk, and he says, if you're gonna scream with me, from Hybrid Moments. And then in the trade paperback version, it was changed to, if you're gonna bleed, don't get it on my boots, which is still a cool line. But like, I imagine the lawyers had a field day with it, because the original title of the run of like the trade paperback was going to be Banned in DC, which I'm sure that annoyed multiple lawyers. So it became Battle of the Band. So that was a whole thing.
That's funny. CJ was actually in here, but he has not left any of his impressive 40-some piles of questions. Gene, I have a feeling he's having a rough day, maybe. Is that why he's asking a billion questions? Are you a fan of Love and Rockets, the Fantagraphics comic?
I've not read that yet, but I will make a note to check it out.
I hear it's really good. I have not read that either, but I hear it's really good. So Figure is asking CJ's question for him. So CJ's Ghost wants to know, what is your take on AI art?
It's not good. It's bad. I don't have a lot to say about that other than, no AI was used in this comic, and I never will.
It lacks, I don't know, when you look at it, you could tell it doesn't share super creative vision with it. It's one of those things.
I'm not going to deny the AI thing isn't interesting, because it is. Like, it is fascinating, but at the same time, I think the way it's being implemented, especially in the creative process, is not particularly, it's not good. Like, I think that, there's no replacement for human creatives.
Yes. So we have an AI can suck it. Someone says CJ's at his birthday party, and Figures following up with AI art is like the antithesis of punk rock.
That is a very good point. It is, because it's like, that's what part of what I want to channel with this, just like very like ground level, just people doing stuff that they want to do. It's not, like the AI thing, like I said, it's interesting, but it's just the way it's being implemented is just so scummy, and I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. Good question. Rude wants to know, have you listened to the Dwarves?
I have listened to the Dwarves, who I discovered through SLC Punk 2, because they had their cover in that Salt Lake City, or not their cover. They did the song Salt Lake City, and then MXPX did a cover of it with Bad Cop, Bad Cop. But yes, I am familiar with the Dwarves.
Very cool. Rude. I like your music knowledge. CJ wants to know, don't get it on my boobs? No, he said boots.
Boots, yes.
Oh. Do you have any vintage skateboards?
No, nothing vintage. Like I have some, I have like an old Bam Margera Element board that's not made anymore, but I can't think of anything I have that's particularly like valuable in terms of skateboards.
Ooh. Would you want to get something from like the Lords of Dogtown era? Would that be like your ultimate like
if it was affordable, because obviously when I first saw that movie, I was very young when it came out. I was like 9 when that movie came out. And so obviously, and then by the time I saw it, also like I didn't really have a whole lot of money that was my own. So that's the dangerous thing about being an adult with money. Like you can buy stuff you want, and that becomes dangerous.
That's why we all have weird stuff in our room now that doesn't actually fit in our room because we have too much stuff. But yes, having money is pretty dangerous. Yes, also Sea-Punk is a pretty good movie. There's a lot of people in that movie, actually.
I heard about the Dwarfs through the sequel, which I think a lot of people haven't seen, but I watched it the first time and it was very like meh on it, because even though I knew going in that like Matthew Lillard wasn't back and all that stuff, I was like, and Jason Segel wasn't back. Like part of my brain was like hoping that he would surprise me at the end. And then he did, but once
what's the name of the sequel?
It's just called. It has multiple titles. Like it's either Punk's Dead, SLC Punk, like Punk's Dead: SLC Punk 2, or just Punk's Dead.
I know I've seen it, but I can't remember for life of me the sequel. Taylor says he hasn't even seen the.
But I watched it. But I watched it the second time, and having like kind of just gotten that stuff out of my head, I actually really enjoyed it the second time. I thought it was. I liked it a lot the second time. I think it got better on a second watch for me.
Okay. I would have to watch them back to back. That sounds like something. It's been so long since I've seen even the first movie.
Well, because the second one's also, it was on Netflix for a while, but like I know it's also not like super easy to get a hold of. Because I think they did like a very limited, like it had like a very limited theatrical release and like a limited DVD release.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to hunt those down because that's definitely I would like to watch again, because it has probably been since early 2000s or whenever they made that first movie since I've seen it. Man, even thinking that that's 2000, that's such a long time ago when you think back how long ago that was. But yes, hi Red. Yes, we're talking music today, so you are also a musical guy. If you would like to get in some music chat. Oh shoot, what'd I do? Oh, that's a good question. I'd like to know this also. What's the most fun part of making this comic?
The most fun part for me was just all the little nods and references I included in the script. Like for instance, go back up to like the header image. It's it's obvious.
Let me do that.
That's obviously an homage to the iconic photo of Minor Threat, sitting on the porch. And there's a bunch of that. Oh no, I mean like the Kickstarter header image.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, like that. We have that there, which was the nod to the iconic Minor Threat photo. And there's a bunch of stuff like that in the comic. Like there's a Clash London Calling homage in there, and some horror stuff. And there's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre homage to like a specific shot from that movie.
Nice.
The main house, like the main quote unquote haunted house, is based on the Myers house from Halloween.
Ooh.
So it was fun just kind of writing in those little nods, just both with the characters as well, like all like the various layered references to each character's name and design.
That's awesome. Have you been able to meet your whole team yet? Or is that something that you're looking forward to in like a con or something?
In person, no. I don't know that'd be super viable just because like Jean Maria, he lives in Italy.
Okay.
So that's, a ways away.
Yeah.
And Haley's someone I actually worked with. We actually worked together for a time, and that's why and she lettered comics as well. It's like, so obviously when I did this, like I know who I'm calling. Like because her work is pretty great. So yeah, because we had worked together in the past, but all again remotely. That's more feasible though, because I believe
Okay.
she's up in the Midwest.
Okay. Do you happen to go to a lot of cons?
Not a lot. I'm going to. I'm planning to hopefully table at El Paso Comic Con early next year once this is done. Hopefully,
Okay.
so I can sell copies in person.
Okay, nice. That'd be cool. That'd be really
I'm
cool.
I'm also going to see about maybe trying to get some space at the local punk rock flea market.
Punk rock flea market. That's awesome. I would bring the shirt there. I would really think about getting the shirt made for
Yeah.
that guy, and definitely bring that with you because that would probably be a big hit. I think so.
I'll look into what like the money aspect of that looks like, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you might be surprised. I think you might be surprised, even if you just put them on like a shirt site somewhere and just print them yourself.
Yeah.
I think you'd be surprised. Let's see. Hey, Red and Real, what's up? Okay. This is his favorite question, and he wants to know, what superhero would you like to see dead? And this is, they're dead. They're not coming back. No zombie form, no nothing. And how are you taking them out?
That
Yeah, it's hard. It's a tough question.
I don't know. I don't. Can we kill the Eradicator again from Superman? I don't know.
You can kill anyone you want. Villain, you can kill, whoever. It's whoever you want to.
Well, that's superhero, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, go for whoever you want.
I don't know if there's any superheroes I especially hate, or any comic book characters that because some people get really mad about certain characters for some reason, and I just don't.
I don't know. People really want to kill Superman for whatever reason. That's their go-to usually on that question.
I like Superman. Superman's a character I've appreciated more as I've gotten older.
You just came best buds with Glenn. I'm telling you right now.
As a kid, I was all about Batman, but as I've gotten older, I've definitely started to recognize the appeal of Superman as I've gotten older.
Yes, you are also DC bro. I know you are super Henry Cavill Superman. I know. Yeah, see, I told you you're instant bros right now because of this.
I'm very excited about the new movie. Like I know, once again, Twitter's being weird about it, but I never thought I'd see a live action, I never thought I'd see a live action Crypto, and Titans doesn't count. So I'm happy. I like Crypto.
Since I was little, I never thought I would see a lot of movies coming up all the time. And I'm excited that they're just here. So, I don't mind. Even if they're not the best movies, I would still enjoy them. So,
absolutely. I know, like, even before all the drama started, I was super stoked on seeing Cyborg in the Justice League movie, just because one of my first loves with superheroes growing up was the Teen Titans animated series. So, like, seeing Cyborg in this big live action movie, like, I never thought I'd see that, and that was super cool. Like that show has a very special place in my heart, as I'm sure it does for a lot of people.
Okay, we have a really important question from Figure here. He wants to know, in no particular order, who are some of your favorite writers in any media?
I'll start with comics, just because that's easy. Jamie Delano, Neil Gaiman, Dennis O'Neil, I would say, are top three.
I really like Gaiman. Gaiman's a really good writer.
And, like, obviously I'm a big Sandman fan. I'm a big Hellblazer fan. And for Dennis O'Neil, like, I actually haven't read a lot of his Batman stuff, but any of his like non-Green Lantern stuff, but his and Neil Adams' run on their Green Lantern, Green Arrow run it still holds up. It's incredible. I cannot recommend it enough if you can get your hands on like the complete collection. The Green Lantern, Green Arrow by O'Neil and Adams. It's amazing.
Is there a comic story that you would like to write yourself, like from those stories that you kind of grew up reading? Would you like to continue on a story?
I don't know if I trust myself enough to do that.
Well, what about not continue on, but maybe write like a side or like a one shot in the universe?
Oh, I would love to do something like that. Like, that stuff I always love that stuff. I'm very dark right now. There's not good lighting. There's not good lighting in my apartment.
That's why I got the ring light. Otherwise, it'd be pitch black right now. It'd be just
Yeah.
Darkness.
I have the
But
light on over there, but it doesn't really show up. But yeah, no, I do love those little those like just those kind of like standalone one shots. Like
I
I'd love to
love those.
that'd
Yeah.
be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. What universe would you want to write it in? Like, what would be your first one that you would want to pick?
I mean, maybe Spider-Punk. I don't know. I would love to do, actually, I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man 2099. That's a character, like,
Ooh,
as
okay.
as kind of a Latino comic book fan, that's a character that means a lot to me just because it's a character that I see myself in, like, more than most, like, Latino or Hispanic characters. Like, that's a character that has really spoken to me over the years.
Yeah. I like the 2099 universe. There's a lot of good.
'Cause
I would
I
say
have a tattoo of his logo on my arm.
you have a tattoo of his logo on your arm. That's awesome. I know there's a lot of 2099 fans that have been for a long time. And my favorite stories growing up are always have been like the 1 to like 4 issue like side stories of Spider-Man. Like that's always been the thing that I would go when I would find like all the time and like the bins when I would go hunt. That's my where I lie with comics. I love that growing up, but now I'm more in like the indie realm now. But yeah, when I was a kid, that's what I was. I still will go and pull those out and find those when I'm back issue hunting. But yeah, that's what I love the most. The weird villain stories or whatever from Spidey. Not the main runs, but like all that other stuff. But I love 2099.
Yeah,
When that cover came out, it was great. Yeah.
speaking of like favorite writers, I'm also a big fan of like the comic stuff Gerard Way does. Like it's so delightfully weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird and I love it. Like his
He
Doom
does
Patrol
have
run
some.
was fantastic.
It's amazing too how many like musicians are getting into comics or like starting their own comic, especially lately.
Yeah. Like
I like that. Yeah.
yeah, like there's the Z2 stuff, which I really like. That's probably like my most supported indie company is Z2. I love the stuff they're doing. I'm also a big fan. Like I know Vault, I don't know if it's fully been rolled out yet, but I know Vault was doing their like collaboration with like Metallica and other bands.
Yeah, there's so many. I know Danzig has a ton of comics, but
Well,
there's
he was kind of
literally
a forerunner for that because he was doing that way back in the 90s, I
he
think.
started that in like late 90s, I think. Early 2000s. He came out with it for a long time ago. But yeah, he was one of the first ones to do that.
Like I know
Yeah,
like Taboo did that Werewolf by Night miniseries.
yeah. Have you ever seen like the rock and roll ones from like the mid 90s? They're so weird. They're a mix of like pop, rock, and rap from like the 90s. They'll have like Guns N' Roses, like hair bands. They're amazing. They're not the best art, but they're amazing. If you ever do run into them, grab them because they're fabulous. They're really fun to read. Figure wants to know what is your favorite band shirt that you own?
My favorite band, see, that's a good question. The Black Flag, everything went black one is up there. I have a Great Susie and the Banshee shirt. Yeah, like
Oh, cool.
those are yeah.
Band shirts are my go-to. I'm wearing this one now. I dug this one out because I like that it's old school, like poster flyer shirt.
I would say by default, I have to say the Black Flag, everything went black. I'm not wearing one right now, so I'm trying to think. I have a great Agent Orange shirt that I got when I saw them live earlier this year, where it's the band's logo and it's a photo of Frankenstein's monster surfing. That's a good one.
That's awesome. That is a cool shirt. Yeah. Yeah. Super nice. Yeah. I also agree. Very nice. Okay. Yeah. So super cool. I really want to read this book. I can't wait to. I'm gonna back it myself. I just got to figure out which one I want. So, yeah. Very cool. Is there any questions you have for me or for the chat? You would like to know? Probably not.
I've interviewed people. I'm not used to being the one interviewed, so I don't know.
Okay, no, that's fine. Is there any questions you want me to ask you?
I was just wondering if there's anything else any other questions you had about like the story itself or
the story itself. Well, I've pretty much got the vibe of this book right away, and I am all for it. It literally punk Halloween, it's literally every single thing that I grew up loving in my entire life. People break into an abandoned house with history in it. Literally what it says here. There's an urban myth around it, but yeah, no.
I'll say they don't technically break in.
Technically, they go explore and have a show.
It's more of a thing of one of the band members knows a realtor who's been trying to sell it.
Oh, I'm a realtor. Fun fact. Yes. Yeah. But no. No. I literally, from the moment I saw the page and everything, I wanted to back it and I wanted to know more about it. But I really love your enthusiasm for skateboarding, the music, what you're talking about and putting into this. It's very you really want to back it more when you hear yourself talk about it, because I like that you have all that back history about it, and it's awesome. And I'm getting tongue-tied now because I'm very tired. So sorry. It's been a long few days. But no, I love every single thing about this. And the only thing I want to say is it's a one-shot, but I would love to see more or anything about this. But yeah, it's great. I love the cover.
Like I said, I can't get too deep into some of my ideas without spoiling, but I'll just say that like there's a few. I have a few ideas of how to kind of do a follow up to this.
Nice, I do like that a lot. But yes, go. We could probably end it here because Kickstarter is going to be shutting down probably very shortly, because it says it's going to be down for probably about 15 minutes. But yeah, does anybody else have any extra questions after this? But no, you've answered everything that I wanted to know about it. It looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. And I can't wait to actually read it. So I do hope it gets funded. And after this, I will be sharing the crap out of it pretty much everywhere. So get more eyes on it. And I have faith that it will definitely fund. Yeah, it's nice to hang with you, Red. Hope you are enjoying everything. Yes, it's nice to see you.
Yes, for any additional questions, just speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yes, or you can harass him at any one of the Twitter.
Or you could do that, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. All right. I am so very tired. I'm sorry, because normally I'm more bubbly and I'm asking questions and kind of just like, boo, 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 boo. But yeah, no, I almost fell asleep 4 times today. So sorry. Sorry about that. I actually spelled basement wrong earlier too. So that was, the highlight of my day. Actually, no, the highlight of my day is I made a beard and I had a sexy hair off with a few people over here in the chat. That was a fun time. Yeah. No, I'm completely wiped. So here's a good question. Do you love the New Rose by The Damned?
I have not heard it, but I will look into that.
Yes, beep it, definitely. Thank you for these suggestions too. Yeah, if you have any music suggestions as well, send them to both of us, because you guys are amazing with the music stuff. And definitely go listen to the Spotify soundtrack and the songs that are down below in the description, because they're all amazing. And definitely go back this book because it is super, super cool. And I know you guys like all this stuff that's in here, so definitely go check that out. And if you guys have any other questions, ask them now, because then we're just going to get out of here, because I am still falling asleep right now. And it's not you, trust me. I just don't sleep. Oh, he says it's a bit of a classic. Okay, cool. I do like the old school original stuff a lot. And I went on a massive early punk origins thing a few years ago, and it was amazing. And I love it all. So yes, I got obsessed with CBGBs and watched every documentary surrounding it. Yeah, but no, I'm so very glad that you came on the show, and I hope that everybody goes and follows you and checks out your book, and it's awesome. So yeah, go give it a shot. Go check it out. Yes.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Super happy to come on.
Thank you. Yes, and please do come back on whenever you have something else coming on, and I am more awake. And we can talk about way more of your projects, and hopefully by then I will have this book and the Bebop book, and we can show that off and check it out. Oh, thank you. Yes. This is my old, it's probably falling apart AC/DC shirt. But yes, I love that shirt. It's amazing. It's probably pajama shirt by now because how many times I've worn it over the years. But you can never let go of those old band shirts. You gotta wear them till they die. That's for sure. But yes, thanks everybody for stopping by. I know Marcus is live right now, so let's go say hi to Marcus on his stuff, and let's get out of here because I also haven't eaten today yet, so it's probably why I'm like passing out. So thank you very much, Noah, for coming in here. Yes,
thank you for having me.
Give us the horns. Yes, and please do come on again and show off any of your other projects. Maybe not, because hopefully I'll do them later. Yeah, even if you don't, I have another show called Fartist Feature where I just focus on artists of all kinds, creators of anything, and you can just come on and talk and hang and talk about your whatever your work and all that stuff. Yeah, so yes. Yeah, no, I'm very tongue-tied right now. I'm so loop-de-poop because I haven't eaten and I'm like so dead tired. So yes, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your stuff. Okay. Because you do have the links down below on your Kickstarter. I will put the links of the artists and the cover artists and all of them down below also in the description so that people can go and find them, because I think that's equally important to any work of art, is you support all of the people that have created it. And even down to the letterer and the colorist, because everyone that makes that is it's a group effort.
Lettering isn't like that's my parting advice. If you're making your own comic, hire a letterer. Just
hire a letterer. That's great advice. Yes.
So worth it. Like,
yes. Let me see. Does it show any of the interior lettering? No. Well, kind of.
No, there's
not really.
That was also Jean Maria. There's some on my Twitter. I can get you some letter pages. Okay, I can send you a review copy if you'd like as well.
Okay, cool. So if anybody want to know what that would be like, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, no, I'll drop you a fat review. All right, see you guys later, and we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go get food, but yeah, see you guys. Also, Marcus is live, so go check out Circumstances. We're gonna go check out his book and go follow him, and let's get out of here because I'm literally hanging on by a thread right now. So, yeah, bye guys. Thanks for hanging. Bye.